My love, I need you to stop resisting your nature. Stop working against nature. Stop burning out, chasing things that are not in alignment with your soul, your purpose, your body. And so today we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects that helps any woman that I've ever talked to, and that is finding peace with your blood flow cycle and understanding that your blood flow cycle, whether you currently have it, you don't have it, you miss a period, you don't, you are in menopause, but I promise you will find some wisdom and even something that I created because I like to create things that will help you not only normalize your blood flow cycle, but understand the magic and the power that it has to, one, amplify your beauty. So you know how to use certain rituals for certain phases of your blood cycle. Two, how to become more magnetic, because if you work with your own natural intrinsic system, you will know when to go out and make things happen, when to attract things, when to assert a boundary, etc., etc. And three, to find more peace with yourself as a woman. We are literal superhuman beings. It is incredible the things that we get done. It is incredible that we can create life. It is incredible the businesses that we can craft and the products and the content when we are in alignment with our blood flow cycle. And when we also have no shame around it at all. So get your pen and paper, get your notes, because you know I drop gems from now to then. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe now, because I'm also dropping other content to supplement this. But also share this with the elders that maybe perhaps aren't familiar with this. Share this with the little ones, and also for you, my loves. Connect with this, listen to this as much as possible, because not only am I sharing how to align with your cycles, but I am also putting spells of power over all of us as women, because the next 20 years, we are running it. It's going to be a feminine revolution. So one of the biggest questions I get from y'all on YouTube, right? And I read all your comments, put your comments in the comment section. I listen to all them, is how do I trust myself? How do I learn how to do X, Y, and Z? How do I know what my purpose is? And those are big philosophical questions, and we can totally drop into it. And I could drop into that with you. I would love to do that with you. But the first thing is what is your relationship with your body? What is your relationship with your blood flow cycle? Do you understand the nuances and the details of your moods, the foods that nourish you, the people that are in alignment with you? Do you listen to your body? And so this video is to help you get the mindsets and the skill sets to start to learn and listen to your body. Now, a cute thing that I like to tell my clients, and if you're interested in receiving this, you can also sign up and you will get a free download to the 4 faces of the goddess. You go through 4 phases of the goddess within yourself. And when you start to learn the 4 faces, you will start to learn the 4 superpowers, how to leverage this power, how to connect with yourself more, and more importantly, how to trust yourself more versus resisting. Because I guarantee you, I don't care who you are, your body will tell you the truth. Your body will tell you what is going on the inside, even when your mind wants to believe in something else, even when other people around you are telling you something else, your body will tell you the truth. And one of the best, quickest ways to get in alignment, free.com, is pay attention to the different faces of your goddess energy. Now, the first phase that we've all been greatly conditioned to shame is the blood flow cycle. I like to call this the oracle. This is when you are in your oracle energy. You are incredibly intuitive. Maybe your dreams go wild. You are tapping into a deeper innate wisdom. There is a reason why, besides just on a biological level, why our energy starts to go lower. It's because it's now time to start to become more observant of yourself, of your environment, of your lifestyle choices, of people around you, of your desires. And so as you physically do not have so much energy to expend, you start to enter into oracle energy. This is when your dreams can also get prophetic. This is when your intuition, you can just clock patterns. Pattern recognition can be incredible. And that's when we honor this cycle of being the oracle. This is also a cycle and part of your goddess phase where you start to really train and trust your intuition. People around you could be saying something else, but if your dreams are saying another thing, if perhaps you just said something randomly out of your mouth and then it happened immediately, right? You start to train yourself to trust yourself a lot more and look at the details of what is coming up intuitively during your oracle phase. And as you bleed, this is not a time to reject the truths that are coming out. They could be difficult, right? A beautiful example is that, let's say you're working on your nutrition, you're working on your physical health. During our blood flow cycles, if we've been consuming a lot of perhaps sugar, a lot of food that's just not good for us, it's not fueling us properly, or maybe you've been highly stressed, okay? During your blood flow cycle, it could be very painful, it could be very long, it could just take you through a lot of deep reflections, okay? Take it a step further. If you've been around a lot of people, or you're currently with a partner that your body's just rejecting during your blood flow cycle, it's going to give you truth. The opposite end of the spectrum is that if you've been eating well, if you're surrounding yourself with people that are inspiring you, if you are in your flow, your blood flow cycle will also reveal this. It might actually feel pleasurable. A lot of my clients and myself too, like, we love our blood because our blood phase, the oracle phase, is a truth teller. She's not going to lie to you. She's going to connect and remind you of your holiness, and connect and remind you that, like, you're a baddie. You see truly into the things. And this is also a beautiful phase of the oracle phase, to also really become reflective of self, to self-trust, and to tease out perhaps the fears, the anxieties, the paranoias about certain situations, and really do some deep healing. So also during this phase, can be great to just write down some notes that you need to clock in with a trusted advisor, healers, therapists, seers, so that way you also untangle those parts of your being as well. So now, after we've been the oracle, we've seen everything, we felt it, we allowed it to move through us because you did a huge shed, a beautiful blood ritual, you're releasing stem cells. That's a totally different video, but we're not gonna get into this. The next phase is energy starts to increase, right? You start to enter into your maiden phase. Doesn't matter what your age is. The maiden phase is a lot about new beginnings. If you allowed yourself to rest, to receive, to become more observant, to trust your intuition, to look at patterns, to understand what needs to stay, what needs to grow, what needs to be let go of, during the maiden phase, this is where we start to see the seeds bloom, or we start to take some light action. We start to take those soft initiatives, that soft power. We create the invitation for whatever we want to come into our lives, right? For example, you send out the invitation to a dinner party because maybe during your blood flow, you realized, I've been isolating a lot. I need to go out there more, or I need to connect with these friends, and I'm tired of just like keeping it in the group chat. I actually want to see these beautiful human beings. So during your maiden phase, you send out to the group chat, okay, we're going to meet on this day. I would love to see y'all. Let's start to organize things, right? Just light invitation. You haven't planned anything. You haven't really done all that. But this is now a season where your body feels like spring. It feels like the maiden. It feels inspired. And this is where we get to really nourish that inner child that we have in us. And not even just our inner child. I would say like the teen, beautiful rose-colored glasses type of energy, but we don't have rose-colored glasses. And so this is where we get to explore what excites us, what we connect with, what feels in alignment and true, and what brings out that beauty within our bodies, our minds, our spaces. Then we have the Empress phase, which I feel all of us love. And this is when we are running on all beautiful cylinders. Our hormones are at their peak. We just have peak energy, right? You know how everyone was like, oh, that was my peak phase, that was my peak era, babes? You get a peak era every single month, okay? Again, regardless if you bleed or not, regularly not, menopause not, you could move by the lunar cycles and you can connect with the lunar cycles. But during our ovulation, which is the Empress energy for me, it's the Empress face that you all have. It's a lot about taking up space, speaking on what you want, making it happen, taking initiative. And I always tell folks, we as women literally are like 4 armies combined during our ovulation, and we get so much done. And that's because you have all of your power, you have all your energy, you have all of your mind. And if you rested, if you maximize your maiden phase and played around with what energized you, what depleted you. And now you're really connected and you said, okay, now I have everything in the calendar. I have these meetings. I know who I want to work with more. These are the conversations. This is where the finances are. Okay, now it's manifesting on like Empress mode, right? And so this is a great time to really focus in on watching and reflecting your decisiveness. This era also is where it's very important not to doubt yourself, but to decide and to give yourself permission to learn in your process of becoming the Empress, right? And all Empresses are known for specific things in their life. They're known for maybe their intellect. They're known for their social skills. They're known for their beauty. So during the Empress phase, this is where we do not have shame about our skills, but we leverage them. We maximize them. We use our gifts and our innate abilities to its highest capacity and potential to get whatever it is that we want, and to allow ourselves to see ourselves as a goddess in motion, and that we can manifest things very quickly. You can perhaps grow your social media account. You can record all the content. You can have an amazing vacation with your family because you scheduled it during your Empress phase. Or let's say you booked a really big gig and it's during your Empress phase, right? That's an incredible time to do it. So as we start to see Empress energy, I know everyone really likes to romanticize it. It's when you are getting frisky and you're getting super sensual, and yes, you are, but instead of just using that again for procreation, which is a beautiful outlet for this energy, also use it for a tool to go within yourself and to witness yourself be so powerful, and to use that power to your benefits and to your purpose, and to connect with yourself. So we're no longer just externalizing our energy, but we're seeing the wealth of our power, especially during Empress. This is where your confidence just starts to boost. You start to go to the heavens, right? You start to go to the tens. You start to feel very creative. And we want you in this space, but I also want you to dedicate some time during that time just to really watch how attractive you become and use that attraction to manifest whatever it is that you want. For example, let's say that you really want to manifest perhaps a dream home, okay? So you want to manifest a dream home. During your Empress, your ovulation phase, I would say get dressed to the tens and go and look at open houses, even if it's out of your price point. This isn't financial advice. This is just me, you energetically get in alignment with it, is go and look at open houses in areas that you want to live in. You're dressed to the tens. You're very magnetic. You're very attractive. You walk into perhaps the open house and you start to connect and vibe with the real estate agent. And they start to communicate and explain all these things, and you just get comfortable in this frequency, but also you're getting comfortable with what you like and what you don't like, and the neighborhood. And perhaps maybe you want to be closer to a certain school, or you want to be closer to a certain hospital as the greatest doctors, or you want to be closer to your family, or whatever it is. But Empress phase is about being out and being seen, not just for the sake of performance, but for also for your connection to your dreams and for your allowance of whatever you want to happen into your life to happen, to manifest your desires, right? So it's really a season for you. It's you season. Now, the finals phase, the one that I feel like gets the most shade, this is the dark goddess. This is the sorceress, okay? This is the phase that everyone runs for the hills because we just don't have a buffer anymore. We just don't care anymore. Our hormones will not allow us to have perhaps the well articulation that we usually have, to have the emotional capacity, to have the patience, to be honest, right? And depending how you nourish yourself with food, with your business, with rest, throughout all the other phases, your Luteal is going to tell you, your sorceress energy is going to tell you like it is, and it's going to be honest. So this is where we also can increase our discernment. We also can be very clear about what boundaries need to be enforced, created, destroyed, what realities need to be enforced, created, destroyed. So like the sorceress that everyone can fear, because the fear of the unknown or the fear of the truth can cause people to live in illusion or delusions. Babes, when you are on that sorceress phase, it's truth phase to yourself, to others as well, right? And it's getting you prepared for the blood, where you'll be more rested, and also in your blood phase when you have safety because you've taken the time during your sorceress phase to create safety for yourself, for your loved ones, for your businesses, right? And this is not to say we need to be just ice queens and cruel during this phase. No, I want you to think of your sorceress phase. Other people may label you a lot of things. You're controlling, you're commanding, you are a man. Like, there's so many labels that they'll put on us, especially during this phase. However, if you are moving from a place of your purpose, you're moving from a place of the long-term goals, you're emotionally regulating, you are just clear, there is no fluster, you're not being nice at this phase, let the titles roll off. You're like, yes, this is what a sorceress does. Because if there isn't a little bit of fear around a woman, then you're probably being walked all over. Because fear will create some respect, right? And when people can respect that sorceress energy, then they deserve you at your maiden. They deserve that empress. They deserve the oracle, because also during your blood flow cycle, the people that are around you and respected you during your sorceress energy, you can give them the guides. You can give them the wisdom. You can give them all of the amazing, like, don't do this, I see this happening to you, right? You give them all of that intuitive wealth that you have. But if they do not respect you and your sorceress, they don't deserve you at your oracle. They don't deserve you at your empress. They don't deserve you at your maiden, okay? So these 4 phases will help you begin to build up your own internal language and will help you sharpen your skill sets as the powerful matriarch that you are. And again, if you want a free guide, it's free.com. Sign up below. I'm gonna link it, okay? And this will help you go through self-care rituals. It'll deepen your relationship and it'll empower you to learn what your superpowers are during these different phases. Now let's do a run through of what an ideal, perhaps, month of the 4 phases of the goddess within you would go through and how to maximize it to the best potential, because this is self-care, okay? This is self-honoring, this is self-trust, and this is aligning you with the best possible outcomes, right? Because if you're good, your life is good. Everyone around you is good, right? And I know that you are an abundant, powerful person, but sometimes it can be difficult when we are rejecting our nature to get the most out of ourselves. When you stop fighting your biology and you start to co-create with it, this is when you increase beauty, magnetism, your power, your sensuality, but just you start to have fun with yourself and you start to not reject the most natural, powerful thing that is on you, and that is your blood flow cycle. All right, so let's just do a quick run through. This would be the ideal schedule. Again, you could totally tailor it to your needs, but this is what I do with my clients when I work with them in coven settings, which is group settings, or in one-on-ones. And I want to share this with you because I want you to find relief and power. So during the maiden phase, this is when you want to launch things. This is when you want to tease things. This is when you want to collect emails. This is when you want to, again, initiate the dinner invitations. This is when you want to start new, perhaps, ways of eating or a new beauty routine. You start to create a mood board, right? So this is the phase of initiation, because this is when you're brimming with fresh energy that is powerful and it's attractive and it's magnetic. Now, when you enter into your Empress phase, this is when you go on 10. So you're networking, you're negotiating, you are connecting, you are being seen, you are out in this world. So folks can really see that you are a woman of power, of confidence, of flow. But you also know on an energetic level, you are more magnetic, more attractive, because you understand that there are 4 phases, 4 faces of the goddess within yourself. And this is also when your charisma and aura is like at peak. Now, during the sorceress phase, this is when you set boundaries, you complete projects, you make disconnects, you let things go that you possibly can at this point, and you give yourself permission to be a little bit more aggressive, sharp, and remove the fluff from your nutrition, from your network, from work, whatever it is. Give yourself permission to go in there with the blade of precision, to call things out as they are, with grace and elegance as well, maybe with a little bit of humor, and then we get prepared for the next phase. When you're an oracle, you rest, you receive your visions, you are shedding energetically, mentally, emotionally, physically, things that will not go with you into the future. And you also give yourself some celebration during this time, because you're not just doing it for yourself. As a woman that is bleeding, you are also gathering in information from so many people online in your family, etc., etc. Okay, so as you start to organize your movement, your business, your family, your self-care rituals around you, this is also when you anchor you into your life. You also anchor into everyone around you that you are not going to chase anything. You are anchored in self. You are anchored in what you want, and you find power in your womb. You find power in your body as a woman, and you find power in the seasons that you have and the different faces of your goddess, and you're not afraid to be the dark goddess sorceress, and you're not just clinging to the Empress, but there is value, there is harmony, and there is balance in all these different phases of who you are. And if you want a deeper checklist of self-care rituals, nutrition, mindsets, go ahead and subscribe, because I will be dropping more content like this, and get my free guide. You can just sign up below. I love you so much. I witness that goddess within you, and I pray that this system supports all of your desires and all your dreams moving forward. Talk soon, my loves.